Padi Sanje Shindu Midi Bu Shogun Nanda Shinla Chuba Shogi
Guru Ranamanda Kamniratayan
Nis Chodu Mudu
Mamadou.
Ah
Mamadou.
Mamadou
If each phenomenon has the two truths, and also emptiness possesses an ultimate nature, emptiness of emptiness, what is the conventional truth in emptiness itself? Chutamchila Dembani Ross Dembani Chutamchila Dembani Ore. Any Tony La ultimate nature. Dunda Bengo Tony ki Tony Reis. Then Tony La Kunzob Demba Kariores. Tony La Kunzob Demba Kariores.
Tony Kunzu Demba Yamari. Tony Demba.
So emptiness is not a conventional truth. Emptiness is ultimate truth.
Tony Demba Che. Tony the Kunzu Demba Yamaris. Tony in a Kunzu Demba Naim Bashquari.
And so within emptiness, it is ultimate truth. So within it, there is no conventional truth. Tony
Tanya do you are Tanya do you not Kunzu Demba Yungo Maris? That is called
but emptiness is conventionally existent. Okay, I need to start back that I'm translating what's being said here, conventional truth. I'm translating that as phenomenal truth. And so there's no phenomenal truth in emptiness, but emptiness is nevertheless conventionally existent. Tanya Duyore.
Yes, sir.
And something being conventionally existent does not entail that it is a phenomenal truth.
I say.
Oh.
Then
he chutam. Chutamchila Dempani.
Oh, Chutamjak into one.
Chutamchila Dempani or base.
Chutam don't you get into Dambani Shakamari? Kunzo Chutamjak.
Tony Kitting. Oh,
don't you quarantine to your mother, Tony La?
So no, with emptiness, you don't establish it as being a phenomenal truth. You establish it as conventionally existent.
Don't you quarantine Dambani Shakamari? Chutamjak Dambani to do it.
So we would say that all phenomena are included within the two truths, but we would not say that all phenomena are the two truths.
No.
Or have the two truths.
That Gunzo check into Dambani USA Carrasana, Gunzo Chokoran check, Koran Gunzo Dambache, Kui Dindu Tony Yarwa, She Dindu Tony Yari. So with regard to
phenomenal phenomena, these are the those things have, you would say, both nature, both truths, because they are themselves phenomenal truths in being obscured phenomena, and then likewise they are. They have emptiness within them. So we say, nevertheless, to do it in more detail, that upon emptiness or within emptiness, we have to say that the conventional existence exists.
是吧？当你谈见的越吧，当你定的越高，当你可能谈见的越吧，是吧？是吧？当你定的工作单位也是个嘛的，是吧？工作单位当你的也是个嘛的。
So we would say then, so that the emptiness has is conventional existence within it, but we would not say that it's a phenomenal truth.
那是啥？呀？
Didn't this one? Okay. Any kasangama at the I think I made a mistake yesterday that I wanted to clear up. Way back on page 295 and bottom of 295 into 296 of the Tibetan, where it's referring to the way the two, the Dharmakaya and the Sambhogakaya are actualized. Kasanga Pechen Norduches, Gyula Norduches. Any, the Simgakbad, Nigya Guchu Gonga.
야,
Simgakbade Kui Munsumze. The
그래서 간체스다.
the Kukone Munsumdu Zepa number shock.
국권은 나봐서 봐왔어. 네. 그래서
Sangibitse Simsinjungi Gyua Namto Nam Michungwe, Degone Chugi Mundu Zepa Mijoki. Longezobe Kukone
국권은 나봐죠.
Mundu Zepa Jok. The
예수바 타양 민가대에 저러더니 다 그래서 될 저거로.
the Longku Simdang Simjung Gakpa Ngundu
누구스 두시라로 와고 공무 예수바다 민가대에서 다 상제비세나 셈당 셈중기 남도 그와 로바레스 남도는 미중외스 셈당 셈중기 나 상제와 나 남도는 무주 바인자 티체나 아니 유 동반이당 유전 20년 去了去下巴新的罗就都穷啊的托巴雷斯穷啊雷斯啊穷啊提国呢 아니 가서래 추궁안도 저주고 말했어. 중앙에서 추궁도 저주고 말했어. 와. 유당 유진도 유장도 로직도 송와나 론제 조고 온도 차버래. 是吧?
Longezobe Kuk Mundu
론제 조고 온도 차버래.
Mundu Zepare.
응? 어때서? 이 최주고 온도 차버래 미적기 있어야 돼. semna semjungki namdo ku juwa lobe yu chidawadang chidawa chenpi yishe niwo to rojik tu songwa re songwa inzang chukungundu chewa chukungundu chewa songwa inzang chukungundu chewa sishagyo ma re songwa na ani longje zoyu kungundu chewa re longje zoyu kungundu chewe tenjewe longje zoyu kudede kunzoku tenpa re
건조기 있던 바래.
semgapa sede terwa
그래. 심가.
semgapa sede semda sum중 주와 가봐 terwa
그래.
다야게 시진피신 간보 말리바 sede 임바 terwa 시진피신 간보 말리바 스바chen 자와세 semgapa네 구용 무슨 제 sede sem가야 돼 가래에서나 나한테 sem다 수중 주와 로바스 거래 terwa
이 심든 심중 가파데 데
semda sem중 그 나도 그 주와 마중와 인상 미중와나 아니 유동반이다 유전 이신 유제 출了去下的 로지트 송아래 송아 인상 추공원도 채와서 조고 아마레스是吧 인상 뒤체나 아니 런지 조고 공원도 채버레스是吧
So this, to say, clarify it again, it says that the stoppage of mind and mental factors, that they're not active at that time. This is not being given as a reason for or a cause for the actualization of the Dharmakaya. Rather, it's saying that when the perceiving subject, which is the gnosis which sees the gnosis which sees which knows reality, things as they are, when that and its object emptiness are placed together like water and water, such that they become of a single taste. Well, that itself is the non. That itself.
로직도 송바나 송아레스 송외 추공원도 제와시 조고 아마레스.
We wouldn't say that happening is what actualizes the Dharmakaya.
송아나 안에 론저도 공원도 제발 론저도 있고 권한원도 대 권나스도가 그러와 론저도 권한원도 제발 좋지미. 아제잖아. 론저도 있고 권한원도 좁아서가 추다 슈초도 로직도 정간데 수레에서나 수기를 요하래서나 론저도 있고 요하래다.
So then we'd say that within whose continuum is that occurring in which the water is being placed into water such that they become of a single taste, like that the gnosis and the objects of gnosis are of the gnosis that knows things as they are become blended into a single taste. That is occurring within the continuum of a Sambhogakaya, an enjoyment body.
Yeah. Taduga.
Tadung chikure. Ngumputope tani pitseme ngona dundam dempa mepe teni drame guba dan drawi chir di kasancha dundam dempa ngumputope tseme ngona dundam dempa mepe dundam tani pitsema dundanba togi mares nangi mares togi dun tani betsema semengona dundanba nangi mares nangi mares togi mares chetsan deni drame gubadang
매바 인상 안에 전담 demba 매바당 tani betsamani wodi 제메고 그래
dundanba tani betsema ni
뭐도 betsam이구나 전단 demba 매베세 전단 demba 매바당 뭐도 betsamani wodi 제메고 그래.
So that one line there was very troublesome, where it says that the within the perspective of a valid cognition that understands a blue, a phenomenal thing like a patch of blue, because that kind of because ultimate truth is not present within the perspective of that conventional valid cognition. Those two do not need to be connected there. Okay, so it's similar like that with respect to the previous not needing to establish the relationship between the that which is qualified by the final nature of things and the final nature itself. So that was just to attempt to clarify that sentence. Okay. Chiglaso. Chigyore. Talaso. Konda. Dirdo. Yore. Rikshe sana karyores.
Rikshe sana tonyu to sheba la sigi riba rikshe sana.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't translate that. What does it mean? Please ask Rinpoche if he would.
Rikshe sana.
Rikshe, if he would be so kind as to and explain what is meant by rikshe, meaning a reasoning awareness which arises from reasoning, or reasoning awareness in different context of use. So here it refers to a tonitobe.
Rikshe toche sana tonitobe jabala che. Rikshe tome sana ani tonyo musum tobe shela che.
So this is an awareness which understands emptiness. And there are two types, or at least two types. One which has thought involved in it. And so that's inference, that sort of reasoning awareness, or awareness that rises from reasoning that understands emptiness. Inferences that establish emptiness have thought as part of them. And then Tony Ngunsundu Dobesh.
Rikshe toche sana tonyu tobe jiba jaba che. Rikshe tome sana tonyu to she khwasa tela khokr tonyu musum tobe shela.
And then the reasoning awareness, which is without thought, does not have thought involved in it, is the awareness which is principally, we're talking primarily here, the awareness which directly perceives emptiness.
That is right.
It is said that a karmic latency is a potency. So karmic latency is translating bakchak here, or propensity is the way I've been translating it, is a potency, nuba in Tibetan, but a shikpa, which means like a disintegration of the action, is not a potency or nuba. Please explain what this means. Bakchasana nuba yores. Shikpa nuba yomares.
Shikpa nuba yomares na karse.
Shikpa.
Bakchasana ne.
Di godun yabushingimdus. Di dun yabushingimdus.
Oh yeah. But bakchasana kasore shiwanga ma shabi nuwa chachi. Pena gewele ji shabi bakchasana. Gewele korang Grand Chupti Kachi Nima Chiltoku already. Gewele ji debu. Ani dewa jinji ki nuwa chila. Ani gewele ji shabi. Ani dewa jinji ki sabi dela gewele ji bakchas kare.
So a propensity here.
Gewele ji bakchas.
Gewele.
Bakchas.
So a propensity. A propensity here is referring to when an action is concluded, the next moment after that, the action stops, it ceases or disintegrates, and then the next moment after that, there is a propensity which is placed upon the consciousness, or sort of infused into the consciousness. And that has a sort of potency or ability. It functions, or you could say it functions as a seed for the subsequent arising of the result of that karma. If in the case of a virtuous karma, some kind of happiness arising.
Oh, Tishindo, Denzin, Ama Gatu Kala, Denzin Chima Teki. Jejeki Nuwaji la Denzingi Shabi Party, that Pena de la Paja dan Sabians Niwari. Sabian dan Paja Niga Yinga. Sabian Manga Paja Jamba Yinga to the Yari.
Paja la Sabian
Yinga Paja Yinga. Paja Yinga Sabi Manga. 다들 간데스레서나 덴징암에 샤징 덴지 치마제지 그 니와메나 코 덴징 그 파자레 덴징 사베 마레 덴징암에 샤징 덴지 치마제지 그 니와예나 아니 고 덴징기 파자다 사베 니가레 다들 간갈자 되나시 쪽 알레베 파자.
So this a way to illustrate the relationship here, there are things which are propensities, which are not seeds, and there are propensities which are seeds, and then there are let me start over on that. There are propensities which function, which are seeds. And there are propensities which are not seeds, that don't work as seeds. To illustrate this, if you have an instance of grasping at things as being established as real, that sort of event, when it's over, then that is going to place a propensity within one's consciousness. But some of these propensities will function as seeds for the arising of another instance of grasping at things as being established as real, and other instances of these propensities will not function as seeds for the arising of a subsequent event like that.
Oh yeah, 다 시바시나 내 시바 들이. 내 시바 내 가파 내 시바 오마길이라 지방 오버레데 시바 다바레 주다 오말루다
지방 오버레 시바 다
지방 오버 시바 다바 다 루데라 지바양 오버레 시바양 오버레 좋아 인상 랭아마 시밤 지바데라 내 시바 시크리 내가 직자인자 내가 식과 주파래. 저 배나 가상아 죽을 라인바. 놈세바데 마음에 시비 주래. 그바 주주 저와 있나지라. 놈세바데 아니 마음에 시비 주다. 세사바데 아니 치위 주. 좋아. 인당 가시 시가나 시와라이 가시 세데 시와 가와다 시와.不希望啦，三十把不希望就当，那么三把慢慢去注意张，就把那注意那希望那注意过的，现在希望大希望我的是吧？现在来希望是两个嘛继续搞不得了，来希望是可的，希望我不现在希望给这不结果的，
希望给这个这个，직바 당 식바.
루디를 직바체.
식바체. 루디라.
루디라. 좀 더 오마라 직바를 주 식바를 단 주명하체. 식바 다바체.
So in the lower systems of Buddhist philosophy, they make the distinction between the disintegration of an action, meaning it's cessation in the sense of its ceasing, and in the sense of disintegration, and it's being disintegrated as a past in a past sense, something which has been disintegrated. In the lower systems of Buddhist philosophy, it is said that the first of these is a functioning thing. It's a constructed functioning thing, whereas the second one is a permanent non-functioning thing. It's a permanent non-functioning thing. So to illustrate this within a kind of example, if we think of a lamp, what is the cause of the lamp's stoppage or disintegration? The light of the lamp. What is the cause of its of the flame disintegrating? It would be the exhaustion of the butter or the oil which feeds the lamp. When that's exhausted, then the flame it disintegrates. Or, for example, with life, aging and death. Death is the disintegration of life, and so there's a cessation or stoppage of it with that. But in this system here, it said that both the disintegration in the sense of the stoppage of an activity, the cessation of that activity, that disintegration, and disintegration in the sense of something being stopped or having disintegrated previously, they're understood as being identical.
Yes, sir.
Bhakchatan Shikpa Nika, why are both a karmic latency and a shikpa, disintegration of the action needed to explain how actions produce their results? Lende gi namsha Bhakchatan Shikpa Nika kogidwe. Lende namsha.
Lende namsha lo kogidwe sana.
Bhakchatan Shikpa Nika.
Shikpa yuezang leji trebu jetu gore. Le shikpa ki leji trebu je gore. Le shikpa ki leji trebu je gore. Pacha leji pacha yuwa pacha ki trebu je gore. Pacha di shaba la tene, ane nami ji trebu jingi duwa taji. Umal juba la te duwa. Lala laga yuri le na jan trebu yanta chunga riba ji. Kushi mede jangas. Rwa kase teji kushi meja demi sirkana ta oma menje ki pacha joshi jila kushi seji shako kushi iji namshi hito iji namshi tiki tindu ani shewanga me pacha de shane ani le de shane ani le de pacha shane ani le de pacha ke nami hito tu chingware sigware wa lu de la ani pacha 고시 귀시 좋았던데 맨나야 레드 식바되기 엔더우진 그래스 내가네 식밤 그러봐 식밤은 파자기 진거래 내가네 유린도 내나야 레그 식바기 더우진 그래스
이 박차단 식바
파자기 지금 파자 식바 말이야
식바 말이야
왜 식바체
So here then in the other systems of Buddhist philosophy, such as, well, for example, in the mind-only school, that school holds that there's a basal consciousness, and that that is the sort of medium within which propensities are placed or infused. Such that and then that the continuity of that basal consciousness carries in effect those propensities from like one life to the next or over time. So all of the other schools say that there has to be something like that. Other schools might say that it's the mental consciousness, which is the base for the medium that carries the propensities or carries the propensities. But all the other schools have to, they say they have to posit something like that. In this system, it's said that one doesn't necessarily have to posit, one doesn't posit that sort of causality, but rather says that the disintegration of the action, when the action disintegrates, when it ceases, that disintegration of the action gives rise to another, the next moment, another disintegration of the action, and so on over time until eventually conditions are such that it can serve as a condition for the arising of the karmic result. But it's also viable to say that a propensity is operating in the same way, that a propensity gives rise to subsequent results of actions. Shikpadang bakcha nika.
이거 말해.
Chikpamare. They're not identical. We say that the disintegration and the propensity or latency, karmic latencies, another way to translate this, are not the same thing. Nika gogirbe. Bakchadang shikpa nika gogirbe. Leginamen.
박자를 때는 좋지 마 요와리 식발을 때는 좋지 마 요와리.
So there are cases of results arising via or through the medium of propensities, and then there are also cases of results arising based upon the disintegration.
다 타냐라니 마담바 타비터니 땜미니 타비터니 마도바 양한다와 토민주 다들 가상을 내가 가상지 자와이바 안에 자와 고랑 기존에 자와이나 타냐라니 마담바 세디 타냐도 군도된 바체 라 돈이 강라 땐 돈이 땐라 맵시시 타냐암 군도된 바데 마담 대마도 발라 아니 돈이 된라 시티 딩도 전동 대바 땡이고 말이 자 그래서
So back to the root text here in the 10th verse, it says that without being based on convention, one is unable to teach the meaning of the highest meaning. So here, convention can be understood as a phenomenal truth, and so that's the base upon which the ultimate truth exists.
담비 되는 마도바서 전남되는 담바 마도바라 아니 니모 세발 밤이 양대 토미도 봐. 그러와 양알에 더 토미도 봐.
And without understanding the ultimate, the highest meaning or highest object, then one cannot obtain nirvana. Nirvana being the cessation, sakpasebi, nyangde. Sakpasebi. The nirvana, which is the elimination of the mental afflictions, the exhaustion of all contamination.
Oh yeah, that thing is the so you gonna Tanya Lani Madam Ba said Tanya Carrere sana Geja Geji Shiva Shejala sorry Ani Gunzo Dambatata Jidenbi Jidenbi turn Tamba Jidenbi turn Tamba Geja Dan Geja Dan Shivala sorry Gunzo Teta Oh Tony Matobi Jidenbi or Tandam 된단다. 가르에서나 돈이 마도비 가서래. 가사들이 오르 저자단 시와라 소와 나와다 맞어 도민이 봐 인상.
So with respect to the first word in the root text where it says convention, here it's or without relying on convention, one is unable to teach the highest meaning or the ultimate. Here, convention refers to phenomenal truths, and these examples of these are things which are expressed and the means of expression, awareness and the objects of awareness. All of these, etc., are called the ultimate for the world. Here, ultimate for the world indicates that for people who have not gotten rid of the ignorance which grasps that things as being real, these things appear to be the ultimate, to be ultimately Dundambar Yupa Zingirbe. Dundambar Yupa, 직대비 된다.
직대비 전담바하세 직대비 로 전달라 되게 전담바하체
So from
남주단에서 아니 믿어봐 인산 직대비 전담바하체
So from the point of view, perspective of worldly cognition, then these things appear to be ultimate. They don't, from that perspective, one is not able to understand that they don't exist in the way that they appear.
타발에 되디 다 세자라 소와 돈이 또이 파발에 되디 군조점 이러와 가상이봐 군조점을 파바 돈이 원좀도 다 여기 년한다 좀 받아 다살에 위 전주선바 대다 그 군조점을 와 군조점 인비 아니 군조 댐바 캐랑바라 마댐바를 야 군조점 인비 타냐 군조 댐바 군조 위 댐바 캐랑바라 마댐바 담비 된된 미니라
So then with respect to the Aryas, here Aryas are referring to those who have understood emptiness as it is. For them, and those who like the Shravaka and Pratyeka Buddha Arhats, as well as the Bodhisattvas who exist on the pure levels of the Bodhisattva path. With respect to them, these things are, as we said previously, are merely phenomenal. They're merely phenomenal. So these conventions, with respect to the Aryas, are conventional truths. And so, without relying upon accepting these conventional truths, one is unable to teach the ultimate.
그래서 담비더니 마담바 담비 가서 마담바 담비더니 담바 미니베 대 마담바야 아니 된담 또니고 말이 와 된담바 마담바 단도고 말이 담비더니 마대원 담비더니 마도바 된담 담바 마도바 냐다토바 민주와
And without teaching those, since one is unable to understand it, one is unable to understand the ultimate. So by not understanding it, if one does not understand the ultimate, then one is unable to obtain nirvana.
이제 뒤치를 시티 등도 시카사 다위 등도 동반이 된라 외바 제발라 동시 카사 군조 된바데 동시 카사데 또바데 아니 간세 타바토베 탑인비체 라 타바토베 탑인비체
시 강사
시 카사 기등도 동이 된라 외바 제발라 동시 아니 가사데 도고래 나라 된라 동시 군조 담바 가사 도고래 라
강사 도고래 so
도바데 타바토베 타비미체
So therefore, if we take, like, for example, a person, the phenomenal truth, which is a person, then one has to establish that in order to establish the emptiness within it or upon it. And so therefore, establishing that phenomenal truth, which is a person, has to be done in order to understand the ultimate truth of emptiness, which is established within it.
야나 들이 자쇼르와 야나 가사기 땡기 돈이 또바데 가사기 땡기 아니 다음에 봐뭐 동반이 또바데 타바토베 타비 비치르스 와 타바토베 타비 비치르스 가사기 땡기 돈이 또바라 강땡라 베시기 돈이 또비 시군조된 바데 또 그래 와 그래서 이 자에도가 안 보더라 두시라와 대지 타바토베 타임 비치르스 시 강사 그때도 동반이 또와데 타바토베 타비 비칠.
So there's two ways to construe this where it says, therefore, because it is the method for obtaining liberation, the first one was, as mentioned, that one has to establish the person, the phenomenal truth of the person in order as a base for to establish the emptiness which is within that person or upon that person. And that's one way of construing this.
어제 다 강사 그때 돈이 또 와라 강 돈이 땡라 벽시기 시 강사도 또 그래.
And then another way to take this is that in order to understand the emptiness, which is based upon the person, one has to understand the person, which is the base for that emptiness.
추대배 내 토마토도 내와나시 추등간라 추주거거나 안에 추대 루사그 내지 토마고 거라와 네 어때나시 강사 그때 돈이 땡라 배발라 티응어도 돈이 땡라 배시 시 강사대 거그레스도 그래 추대도 내와라 내 토마고 와다시 와 추대배 내 토마 대 미사와 대 미사와를 대 미사와 추주교와 나시 전에 돈이 땡라 배살라 시군접대 치다 내와다 캐랑와 차오.
So, and then there's an example given that if someone who desires water has to have a pot, and so just like that, at the beginning, definitely one has to accept convention as it, the phenomenal as it exists. Here, so this is saying like, if you want to get water, you have to have the pot to fetch the water. Similarly, the person, which is the base for the emptiness, the phenomenal person, has to be established in order to ascertain the emptiness which is based upon it.
Oh yeah, that is check. That didn't. She was never near Robert Sumi said. Robert Sumi died a career. Robert Sumi Robert Sumi said, take the cancer you are. Robert Sumi Nanjova Kunzuki Demba, Micheva Samji Keba. Nanjova Kunzo Dembade, Micheva Tenzing Keba. Kunzuki Dembade, Micheva Tenzing Zamji Keba. Rava Kebade, Rashime Batone. Rashime Batone. Tea Domba Nidi, or Rashime Bati Domba Nidi. Any castle, Tendam to be 10 years. 承担点把也把盗版承担这边参与间的承担点把盗版天你大家去谈你是很完民主的
Rangshin通把你真的没参与进
那就话工作几点吧没些话怎么结巴的让些没把盗吧没些话怎么结巴的让些没把盗吧
Rangshin没
工作点把没些吧还是那就话工作点把没些话怎么结巴是那工作点把没些吧是那点正让做那了没被点正给结巴所以这是说家人的那就话工作点把没些话怎么结巴的让些没把多呢提东把你去团那边参与见多把的呢你他你是很完美的
So here it says a yogi or yogini, if they having understood essencelessness, kunzobi deba misheba tsamgi keba la rangshin mebar.
Keba rangshin mebar towa.
Keba rangshin mebar.
Yunde dusiyora. Jui jevu jeba rangshin ma rangshin mebar towa siyora. Jui jevu jeba rangshin ma towa jeba rangshin chani. Kunzo denba misheba tsamgi jeba rangshin mebar towa.
So a yogi or yogini who understands essencelessness with respect to conventional truths, which are generated by mere ignorance, by mere not knowing. So one could say that here conventional truths are generated through a mere absence of knowledge. And understanding that those are essenceless, and then by understanding that their emptiness has the characteristic of being has the identity of being the ultimate, they don't fall into the two extremes.
This one. Oh yeah. Oh. Ti dongba ni si jebarang xian me be dama duan ne ti dongba ni de ani tuan da bi chen yi jie tuan da ba de. Oh, ti dongba ni tuan da bi chen yi jie dong ba de. tuan da ba dong ba ni da jia ge tan yi shi tong an min ju de. Tong an min ju de 让个参与去处理，让心爱有气没白，让个参与去处理，让心爱有，这嘛是吧？是吧？是吧？参与我的参与去处理，让心爱有气没白，去被军在爱样嘛没被气当，是吧？我看是，这东半你特别参与到把你谈你是东啊，没觉得参与基础，两个参与主些让心我有把那气没被跟在我样嘛没被气当，今天就工作数年当找完了，工作数年当找完了，你把马些把是工作数年当找完了，你把马些把是那，今天就工作让心基础啊那样让心就马找完。 马主吧，数年当找完了，你把马切白，来当这个了，你把马赢。
So the yogi or yogini thus doesn't fall into the two extremes. One extreme being the extreme of existence, and the other extreme being the extreme of non-existence or annihilation. And the reason that is the case is because they don't observe
아니 치매 받지 비준자 마양 가서래 마음이 비치나 그래서 랑게 천이 주비 라신 랑게 천이 주비 라신 아여 받지 이 치매 받지 비준자 마마양 매비치 마양 매비치
마마양 매비치
maybe she dance. Then, Jidan, you could just Sunyan and Drawala. Never much about Sigana. Could you rush you to a non that none of the Majaba, Sunyan and Drawala, never much a bear. Any letter table and never marries.
So the reason they don't fall into those two extremes is because they don't observe even previously a reason for holding something being established by means of its own intrinsic identity that existed previously and did not exist later. They don't observe even earlier a reason for holding a thing as existing by means of its own intrinsic identity earlier and not existing by means of its own intrinsic identity later. That's one reason.
대 매바 인자 랑신지 주와 매바 인자 딱다 사이와 딱딱딱책 다베타세고
Akbeta.
세고라 타니수 송아 민주데스 랑그 찬이 주베 랑싱이 응아르여라 치매바 집에 준자 마음이 비치르세 응아르여라 치매바 집에 준자에나 랑신 주와요 거라 어때이자 랑신지 주와 응아르여라 치매바 집에 준자 마음이 바인자 랑신지 주와 까바 인자 딱딱세
Tata.
다베타세 타니수는 하면 타니수도 딱딱세 지den지 군주도 소년단 자와 내가 마체베 군주 소년단 자와 dendudu nayang kaso dendudu majubate right nanju dendudu nayang demba majuba sunya dan drawa yinzang ene ledan dewi na chata kre ste yinzang chebata ta kre
Chebeta.
inda ege tani su tunga mi ju sa tenji neba mahino.
So the first reason then is explaining why they don't fall into the extreme of permanence. And it's, the reason given for that is that they don't observe something existing by means of its own intrinsic identity earlier and then later not existing by means of its own intrinsic identity. They don't observe any reason for that even previously. So that excludes them falling into the extreme of permanence. And then because they don't by not harming or damaging worldly phenomenal things which are like a reflection. Here, this is referring to worldly phenomenal things appear as if they existed by means of their own intrinsic identity, but they don't exist as they appear in that way, similar to the way that a face, reflected image of a face, doesn't exist as an actual face. So just like that, worldly phenomenal things do not exist in the way that they appear. But even that, though that's the case, they're not harmed or negated such that they would be unable to perform functions like such as the relationship between karma and its results. So because they're not negated or refuted as existing like reflections, phenomenal things also are not negated or rejected as being able to act as cause, karma as cause, and the results of karma as effect.
Oh yeah, that is the time is malum wa de tanto de ma xie ge wa. Tanda yuan nan zhou wa teni 全大把我也把转到马里，全大把也把我也把整个马里转到山的带里边，是吧？转到山呢，这是个啦，越在拉班转到吧，越在拉班转到吧，确定个可能个耶稣看这些呢，耶稣带来，按那拉班就整个人呢转到的，是吧？因此，那就我今天全大把我也把转到吧马里。 저도 민데 오랑시 매바 코나라 오버나 랑시 매바 뭐 된다 밤에 봐 코나라 레단 저불라 써봐 통치로 랑시 매바를 레단 저위나 통치를.
So the yogi then avoids the yogi or yogini avoids the extreme of annihilation, the nihilistic sort of extreme, by that second portion of the text there, where it says that not doing damage to worldly phenomenal things which are like or rejecting or negating worldly phenomenal things which are like a reflection, like reflections. They don't negate karma and karmic results. And then also, the yogi or yogini does not exaggerate things as existing ultimately. Here, exaggeration refers to not taking the proper measure of a thing, but adding something to it which exceeds the proper measure of the thing. So the yogi and yogini does not do that either. And the reason for that is that they see karma and the results of karma, etc., only within things which are without essence.
Oh yeah, 我不让心去做啊，越把明白写为其当，现在为南就话贴给，我不能其他给我那么让心去他，我不能让心去做啊，越把明白写为其当，我不能让心去做啊，马哇蛋呐，让心去做啊，马呐。来当这步来说吧，他们家没容易去了，是让些出吧的呢，来当这位那些他家没容易去了。
So and then another reason they avoid the extremes is that they they understand, they know that things do not exist established by means of their essence. They know that, and they also and because. Within the perspective of those who assert, who say that things are established by means of an essence, all things such as karma and the results of karma, etc., all of these causal relationships between causes and effects become unsuitable, non-viable.
Oh. 한국 대니지 남의 대단한 마동와 세나 또 한국 아니 가서래 타두지 그 체면 여점 아니 최탐자 그 똥바데 전담된 바체 최탐자 라신지 똥바 인장 타녀도 아니 내단 저비 남샤 타녀지 그 체면 여점 든들기 대반이지 남의 대단한 마동와
So then it says, one who does not see this sort of differentiation of the two truths. So the differentiation of the two truths here is, as was previously said, is understanding ultimate truth as as the ultimate truth, as the object which is found by valid cognition, which investigates the final nature of things. So that's the ultimate truth. And then objects which are found through valid cognition, which is examining or investigating conventionalities, conventions. Those two types, that division of the two truths, if someone doesn't see it like that. So someone who sees it like that, someone who does not see that differentiation of the two truths, they by seeing constructs, things which are produced by causes and conditions, as being empty of being essenceless. Here, being empty of being essenceless entails that they have an essence. That is, that constructs would have to have an essence if they're empty of being essenceless. Then someone who sees them like that would imagine that 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 if someone who sees them like that, if they were to see them as being 랑심메베 통화나
랑시 메베 동바 랑시 메베 동반 동나 아니 랑시 추고로와 랑시 메베 동마
so
동바 랑시 메베 동와 통화 대니
So if they see them like that, then by seeing them as being empty of being essenceless, that is being the opposite of that, as existing by means of their own essence, as being established by means of their own essence, then they would 두치란 예빠 마예빠 도퍼체 랑시 메베 통화나
랑시 메베 동와 통한 대니 랑시 메베 동와 통하나 랑시 메베 동와 통나 랑시지 죽고를 랑시지 죽나 아니 비제라 소와 예바 마인바 도바체라
예바 마인바 도바체
랑시나 예바 마인고 그래 랑신 주바 요 말아봐 지난 거 탐제 랑신 주바 말아봐
So they would then, if they see things as being empty of being essenceless, then they would come to imagine that things functioning or constructed things are non-existent.
라시메베 동와 통화 대니 있다. 근데 마동와对라시메베 동 라시메베 동와 통화 대 라시지 주바 통화 대니 라시 동 라시지 주바 是吧 라시메베 동와 내 라시 주고로와 야 고선 대하고 라시 메베 동나 라시지 요고래 라시지 두고래
이 요파 마임파 똑바체
예바 많이 버터바체 랑시 메비 동와 통하나 스다 랑시 메비 동와 통나 랑시지 메고데 랑시지 메나 예바 많이 고그래
랑시지
메나 예바 많이 다도 오마데 저바 탄주바 우마 많이 바키 저바 우마 탄주바 많이 바키 랑지바 men제 두스레서 랑시 메비 동와 통하나 세가라 지난 그 오나 라시 메베 동와 토나 라시지 주고래 라시 메베 통하나 라시 메베 동와 토나 되잖아 예바 많이 받줄라 라시 메베 동와 토나 라시지 메고래 라시지 메베 동와 토나 라시지 여고래 아니 가서래 내려서 마서 남의 대다 동안 되제 라시 메베 동와 통화 되니 라시 메베 동와 되니 라시지 주고 그랬어 라시메베 동와 통화나 라시메베 동와 통화나 다 동와 통화나 되잖아 예바 많이 받아봐 챘라 라시메베 동와 통화나 되잖아 예바 많이 받아라 이디 간다 지죠 아니 담보도 주다 그래서 담보도 그래서 대지 남의 대단한 마통화를 되제 라시메베 동와 통화 되니 통화 되니 라시 메베 통화 되니 라시지 주바 통화 되니 라시지 메베 통화나 아니 되잖아 예바 많이 받아봐 챘라 라시 메베 통화 되나 되잖아 예바 많이 받아봐 챘라 지디 되어 가지고 되더라 라시 메베 통화 되니 라시 메베 통화 라시 메비 동바 통화 되니 어느 도시에 대다 많이 마통와 두지 메비 라시 메비 동바 통화 되니 지난 그 오와나 라시지 메비 동바 통화 되니 라시 메비 동바 통화 되니 라시지 메비 동바 통화나 아니 라시 메비 동바 통화나 여봐 라시지 메나 동바 통화나 되잖아 예바 많이 받고래 다다래 예바 많이 봐 라시 메베 동바 통화나 되잖아 예바 많이 받고래 예바 많이 받아봐 챘라 대세 대세 가보도 라시 메비 동바 통화 대 가사 되니 라시 메비 동바 통화나 라시 메베 동바 통화나 최근 라시 메베 동바 통화나 두제나 라시 메베 tomba 토마나 아니 최나 라시지 메고레 최나 라시지 메나 아니 예바 많이 봐도 예바 많이 봐도 그래 두시래 네
So somebody who doesn't see that differentiation of the two truths in the way it's been explained previously, when they see that constructs or functioning things are, they see them as being empty as being empty in the sense of not having an essence. They will imagine that when they see them as being empty of having an essence, see them as being empty in the sense of being essenceless, they will come to imagine that functioning things are non-existent at all.
Yes. Yana Tombani Gashi Dembar Matan Dembar Dane T Dendong Rashim Batoba Chitos. That could do Casore Dembe Den Zumbe Chabakani Demba Tree Demba Inan Zumbi Dana Demba Chukogres. Izam Quasi Dembe Dala Zumbe Chabat Gawa Inzan Denda Tony Yana Tombani Gashi Dembar Dana Sigana Tony Dembar Dan Tony Demba Tony Demba Deba Yinzang Tony Ki Dan La Ani Dan to Juang Tony Morashi Chuachi Dogores. The Jera do Madrum, the Dumachani Chita Troop, Sashil Soanashi. The Jera do Madrum, the Dumachani Statu Sigana Dembi Dan Zumba de Rashi Maduna, Demba de Rashi Chutuk Mares.
Dembi Den
Rashi Maduna. Pena Senzambagi, Yondu Rashi, Yondu Demba to a day, Shawan Demba to a dog, the
So, alternative, or else, these people that are don't see the divisions of the two truths properly, as explained above, they'll either imagine that things are functioning constructs are completely non-existent because they see them as being empty of, in the sense of being essenceless. And if something is essenceless, they think it can't exist, it can't be established. Or else, they'll take they'll imagine some sort of emptiness, and then having imagined it as being real, they'll think that on the basis of that emptiness, that things are, they'll imagine that things are established by means of their essence. So this could refer here to also in the mind-only school system of philosophy, where they hold that they take that the perfected nature of things is, which means emptiness in their system. They consider that to be really established or truly existent, and then based upon that, they hold also that dependent phenomena are likewise established as being truly existent.
Oh yeah, that digi. Yeah, Tombanilla Tanya, Sheriff Chuna, Puma Chur. What a Tombanilla Tanya, Sheriff Chuna, Puma Chur, Tombanilla Tanyini, Tony Dendongi Ranshi Yimbala, Tony Dendu Tasona, and Sheriff Chumana Pungre, Tony Dendu Zimbala and a Pungre, Chetal Lungorwa, Dr. Lungorwa, Tony Deno, the Savati Techa, the devotion Lungre.
Denton, Tony Tanin.
Tombanilla Tanyana, Sena, Tony Meba Tavam, 돈이 된루도 다와.
So here the root text of the next verse, verse 11, says, if one views emptiness in a faulty manner, if one views it in a faulty way, and this is referring to either taking emptiness in a nihilistic sense, meaning that it entails that things don't exist in any way whatsoever, or taking it in a sort of realist sense that there's an absolute emptiness, and holding that, which would entail an extreme of permanence or eternalism.
테니가야 세대 테니가데 대화나 테니가양 세대 야게 따야게 랑신지 동바 토나 되제나 여바 마인바 랑신도나 채나 랑신도 또 랑신 동바나 채다다 여바 마인바 등가 직체 아 가서 덴베 준비된 가서 최전다 추인이가 라시 주바지고 그래 쓸가나 준비 아니 가서 덴베 제발 가 그래 세리 덴다 덴바니가 라시 주고 그래 생지 니도와 어떤 이유지 뭐다
So here it says that if someone views emptiness in a faulty manner, then people of weak intelligence will be ruined. So there are two ways in which people can be ruined through wrongly viewing emptiness. The first of these is, as mentioned, if one takes emptiness, something being, if one holds that something, that things not having essence entails that they are completely non-existent, then one holds on to that misunderstanding of them being essencelessness as entailing their non-existence and falls into the extreme of annihilation. On the other hand, if you assume that that reality and its base, reality and that which possesses reality has reality as a property, those things have to be really established or truly existent in order to exist. Then one holds on to emptiness as being a truly existent thing or established as real in that sense, and one falls into the extreme of eternalism or extreme realism.
그래서 대니가 양 동반이라 따녀바이라 지기랑 심해봐 매나 매봐다 거야 지기니 아니 동마당 돈이 된루도 돼 지난 돈이 가서 때 좀바 카멜렘 봐 돈이 된루 돈시 최장양 라신 주바 칼랭게 대니가양 동반이라 따녀바이라 대단한 대따위 대다르다위 시라 충화나 풍화 규로.
So where it says both of them in the commentary here, that again is referring to persons who view things being essencelessness or things being essenceless. If they believe that if something is essenceless, it can't exist, and so emptiness being essenceless, meaning essencelessness, would entail that things that are qualified by that are non-existent, and so they fall into a nihilistic sort of extreme. And then other people thinking that if emptiness exists, it has to be real, it has to exist, be established as being true or real. And likewise, the base for that emptiness, for example, a person, which has emptiness as its property, would also have to be established as being real. And in that case, such a person would fall into the extreme of eternalism.
다 풍주 가들에서나 가들 랑심에바 통하나 다다지 랑심메디 잠바 안에 때네 메고 그래 스간나 랑심에바 통하나 자지 샤사 메베 안에 자지내서 뭐나 샤사 메바 매배 탐제 여바 마이노시 또바니 안에 군듭지 로다래 와 군듭지 군듭 세데 가져 레바 맞음바 그봐 가져 랑시 메바 레디 랑시 메비 띵도 가져 레바 맞음바 때네 메바 따와 인장 군대 그래봐 그봐 예 로다 주데스
So then the way in which they're ruined, how that occurs, is that someone of this in this way, when they view essencelessness, they think that all sorts of establishment, that the bases for establishing agents, actions, the objects of actions, all of these become completely non-existent. And since there's no base for action, for agents, for the objects of activities to be established, then all of those things would become completely non-existent. And they, in that way, thinking in that way, they come to hold the view, the perverse view of denigration.
군대 세야데 가르잖아. 가져 레바 맞음. 가져 레바 맞음 봐. 매주 텔레 하바지 가져 잠바. 가져 레바 군대 그래.
So this is here denigration of things. Here is not taking the proper measure of what needs to be negated. In this case, this kind of denigration of things, or undervaluing them, one could say, is not recognizing properly what the criteria of that which is to be negated is. One takes instead of taking the proper measure of what is to be negated, one negates too much. One negates more than is proper.
Oh, that lot of duty. Renjen chumale chudi loba songyu na mege wani chujanza. Sigana chudi. Ani 가서로 치당 난기 최대다 랑신지 매발라 아니 때네 매박 로바 송주나 아니 미개와 남니 랑기 아니 취사거래 취사 취잔자 라 데다 매바다와니 미잔테니 칭마주로 데다비 랑신 매발라 매바다와테니 아니 미잔테니 칭마주로 세르 다 동아지 나를 칭마시인지래 라
So there's a verse from the Precious Garland which expresses this, and it says, if one holds this dharma in a perverse fashion, here this dharma is referring to the teaching, the dharma of essencelessness, that if one holds it wrongly, that would mean to grasp essencelessness as meaning non-existence. That things not having an essence would entail that they're completely non-existent. So if one holds them in that way, then those who are undiscerning in that way become ruined or spoiled, and thus, in this way, someone who has this kind of nihilistic view, who sees things as being non-existent, sinks into, or someone who is spoiled in that way, sinks into the impurity or the filth of the view which is a nihilistic view of seeing things as being completely non-existent.
그래서 다들이 양한테 오라 지대양 탐자로 구와 메dem나 스타양 바로 보기 탐자로 구와 메dem나 안에 대세 오어디다 미신도 오어디다 여기도 와 요아를 와서 참만 미기도 와서 참만 미신도 지다나 랑신지 예배 동그레스 오어디다 참만 미신도 안에 랑신지 예배 간데스 동그레스 지다 랑신지 예배 동바주로 괜찮은 뒤치 랑신 매비 되니 내 똥비 되 많이 놓 랑신 매바데 똥비 되 많이 놓 시 내봐 돈이 뻥아 주로. 야.
So then, on the other hand, however, one might say,
지디 탐제라 고와 매dem나 바로 고와 매dem나 안에 대정 오고 대답 뭐고 대답 체면 미시도 와서 미시도 안에 라신이 지라 지단나 라신이 바 동그래
재미
체면 미시도 오고 대답 미시도 세템.
So, however, if one doesn't does not undervalue them everything, 탐질라 코라 맞답나. 탐질 주 탐질라.
탐질라 고와 매dem나니스. 아. 탄주발라 고와 다들.
The rangyuba. So, if someone does not underestimate or denigrate everything, all phenomena, then at that time, when they see things, these things, the phenomena with through valid cognition, when they observe them with valid cognition, they would come to think that how is it that how is it that that they could be empty of existing by means of an essence? How could that be the case? And therefore, since the meaning of emptiness is not emptiness does not mean essencelessness. That is, emptiness does not have the meaning of essencelessness. They will definitely abandon emptiness.
Yes, 아니 가세. 나도 저기 봐. 라시 동바 주지. 라시 메비 텐이 동바니 텐 많이 놓으시. 내가 동바니 뻥아 주로. 정선. 야. 다 동바니 빵네. 대빵네 동바니 빵네 체지 펌버 주위. 아니 동바니 빵나 아니 체지 펌버 주위 레지 초봉기 레사니. 동바니 빵나 초봉기 레사네 초봉기 레지 아니 남이지 되올라 난도도 주대.
So, and if they abandoned that, if they abandon emptiness in that way, they cast it away, then by having created the karma of for being bereft of the dharma, or having created the karma of having abandoned the dharma, they will go to a lower state of existence, a miserable sort of destiny.
人家听完了。 咸阳地你老松呐，咸阳，安尼东巴尼，安尼要马的山呢，安尼东巴尼地你要面对是东巴尼傍晚的老板松呐，人呢，你不开运俺家钱，傍晚马上东巴尼傍晚马上为当你钱，安尼伢娃那边都安尼这个人记住是着，那边把你记住着。
So this is explained in the Jewel Garland, and it says there's a verse there that says, "Moreover, if one grasps this wrongly, this being emptiness, if one grasps this wrongly, then fools who have the arrogance or the pride of being scholarly, whose selves are destroyed by the abandonment of emptiness here, they go to the Avicii head first."
다들 세 가드 팬도 바테 남바 현도 수나 팬 미도메 라 팬도 바테레 현도 수나 팬 토기 미도메 네바 칸데 치그레 지달 주제나.
But if you ask then, well, how is it that if you take something that's beneficial and you hold it in some other manner, then it may be the case that it won't benefit you, but how is it going to harm you?
Oh, Tibela, Dunum Korumla Nyamba Tamna, Deba Lava Chapa Maino, Sabin David Kavala, Ani Korum Yamni, Ani Sabin Tawate, Yinayan, Deba Batela Neba Chikumari.
So, and then the example that they would give here, they would say, if you plant a grain out of sequence, when one is planting, one has to follow the proper sequence of processes. If you do that out of sequence, then it's not going to destroy the person planting the grain.
Oh, Deba Lava Chapa, never Chapa Maimba, Maim Resena, whatever Maimba Petela, Sra. And that Dula Sunya, that Ringani Trubashin. Dula Sunyana, Anil Casore, Rana Jun Wache. Ringada Jack Sumina, Anil Rana Jimmy, but Titi Pesungo, that Betty Mara, what Chida de Pena, do. Ngada menji menga chida wa ju sona du de grala ne ba meje ba norji phungbo chebo go ba the phayen ji yong yo la chidar ane menda nga ji nyar tem ba de phone ane du ji sona sengba zimba bo de phungwa chigre.
So the examples, an example that's given for why that's not the case, contrary to the position that the person is presenting here, that it won't hurt the person even if it won't benefit them. The example then is given in the next two lines of the root text, where it says that just like a snake which is grasped wrongly, or a vidya is a type of mantra wrongly practiced. And then the commentary explains that just as, for example, if you hold a snake according to the proper instruction, and by using the proper kind of mantra and the proper medicine, if you do that by the power of the mantra and the medicine, if you hold the snake in the proper, according to the proper and according to the instructions that are given, then you'll summon forth a large mass of wealth. But if you abandon the instructions, you give up the instructions on how to do this, and you hold the snake falsely, wrongly, in the wrong fashion, then the person who's holding it, the person who's grasping the snake, will be ruined.
가서 명아 지신도 주비 명아라 때네 링아 주바기 명아 지신도 주비 아니 응아다 제당 안 된다라 주비 잠반 아니 주바 호텔라 팬토와테 명아 제 냠데 치질로도 주바지 나니 명아라 냠베 녀와 주나 아니 주바 호텔라 아니 링아디 미주바 팬 미도바 마세 내바 연구레스 풍어치 그래.
So, or another, the other example is that if someone practices or performs a vidya mantra, this kind of mantra, and accomplishes it according to the oral instructions that are given for it, then the practitioner will be benefited through the accomplishment, the practice of that special mantra. But if they lose the instructions, lose the oral instructions on how to perform the mantra, and they practice it in a faulty fashion, then that practitioner will, him or herself, be ruined.
그래서 다 뒤에라 demba ni toba kawe tembe tambo ane madem sute subject dire
So we got to the fifth topic here, that because of the difficulty of understanding the two truths, that the teacher initially did not teach them.
계시 현배 최대 이등도 가와 천주바 투비 투니 최대 바랍도 라바 주와 인세가나 오다다 동반이라 따년나 셔러 충와 풍 충와나 안에 풍와 셔바 풍와 셔비 균전 대치를 쓰자 균전 대치를 쓰라 아니 사모 동반이 녀도 미롱 외기 아니 두자 대다라 先辈那么是吧我写着先吧当着没就写着先辈安尼咱们当把你个确定顶到高瓦的前边去年到高瓦的前边去年今天的特别特你确定了然后老板就话因是个了安尼咱们你当把你等着没容易对家太大了今天的就他妈安尼特别确定你不咱们当把你麻蛋吧 대란 도데 아니 라랑기 아니 가서를 두자 그 로저다 템바 아니 달아서 땡고 알아봐 나도 라바 주와인
달아서
다도 주발라서 아시지 주발라서 다들 자와 코란 그 대화 들으시
So then it said that the root text says that having known that or therefore to connect back to the previous verse that the danger of grasping emptiness wrongly, it says that therefore having understood that this dharma is difficult, which is profound and difficult to understand by those who are weak, who have weak intelligence. The sage's mind turned away from teaching this dharma. 대타 토미니 다오니나 전보보 풍물체.
다등 저와 대다 동반이라 다년나 전부 풍화 체라. 라写着先把남지장 대권한이 양다바 전도 지금 미니바 티실.写着先把路面把대다기写着先把남라 동반지 양다바 지금 미니바 티실.
So then the commentary explains this. Such an emptiness, if one has a faulty view with respect to such an emptiness, this profound emptiness, then the one who is grasping it in that faulty manner will be ruined or harmed, ruined. And since and it's said that those of weak intelligence who have a weak sort of intellect or weak wisdom, they are not able to properly apprehend or properly grasp the meaning of reality.
是说，这军在哪去？东北3件呢？是，安尼都叫3件去看当，安呢，看当没完了，说话，安呢，去西都啥完了，看当，去西都啥完了，谁的？安尼写着先把他了，等就咱们去的，写着先把给顶到高瓦，到把高瓦的前边去呢。 So
because of that, and so this what's been given there is the reason. Due to that, the teacher having become a Buddha and having seen the character of sentient beings, and having seen that the Dharma, this Dharma of emptiness, is extremely profound. Having seen that, and having understood, having known that people of weak intellect, of inferior kinds of intelligence, would find this kind of profound, this dharma of the profound dependent origination to be extremely difficult to comprehend. Having known that, the sage, the Bhagavan sage, initially turned away, or his mind turned away from teaching this instruction, teaching the dharma on the dharma of emptiness, and instead he taught other kinds of dharma, such as the dharma of the existence of a self and so forth, those other forms of dharma.
Oh yeah, that chetava radu laba juare, the imbayan tedayan dole, jumden de ngomba zawa sangen de ringbo malumba, ani dinyam du gongsha gongde, sashi zhe yesa dumaje, dizi zhe chu jinxinba. Sura tena kovar mijeba mima naji tuji bayawa cha jaware sabshi dresa yesa dumache tambu sama tamba nide ani sunguare ta didan ta jiba do jimba ta ne che samo saware nangwa ani daba chawa ma yinba tanya be sama daba chawa ma yinxin do ge wi ji yu ma yinba ba do ge wi ji yu ma yinba 아니 시모 캐싱 장배 시가나 아니 dembanyi 동반yi 전라 캐싱 장바기 르바차와 아니 좀 전에 투수 취대 어때 취대 야
So this is explained in sutras, in a sutra as well, where it says the Bhagavan initially having fully perfected Buddhahood, having become a completely perfect Buddha, in a short time after the Bhagavan had become a fully awakened, perfected Buddha, he thought as follows. I have comprehended a dharma which is profound, and here where it says this dharma is profound, it refers probably to another passage in the sutras where it says that So this is probably also referred to in a different sutra, where it says that the Buddha said that I have I have understood this dharma. I have found a dharma which is a nectar of immortality, which is profound, which is peaceful. It's devoid of elaboration, free from elaboration. It's clear light, usawa dumache, and it's non-constructed. Sapsal Dudal, Usal Dumache, Tutsi Tabachu. So this dharma, which is like a nectar of immortality.
bene ma naji tu bewacha.
So he said, if I teach this, there's no one who will understand it. So for the time being, I'll turn away and go into the forest.
오다 데데다 지바체 또그 제요 많이 봐开心 咱왜 리바차와 투수 취데스 다 텐자와 데 투수 취베 사회 사와다 시와다 저와다 자와 사 임바데 데 가등에 현라 때나 현징에 데 도발 민주데스 도발 민주데
당부 디교래.
도발 민주데 현징에 좀 된데지 땜바데 도발 민주신.
So he said and thought, I have comprehended this profound dharma, which is the appearance of the profound, which is not logically analyzable. This means that it can't be analyzed with the logic of conventional valid cognition. And it's not within the range of logicians. It's not something that logicians can analyze. It is subtle, and it is something which the learned and the wise, learned and intelligent, should understand. I have comprehended that. If I teach this to others,
아니 다 치지로도 손에 말라 내버 주신스 아니 심버 주에 아니 투미 좀 된데 투미 줘와 주에 강단이 지보 사모동반지 텐데 수라된자 코아미 미만 나지 주주 아니 배바차 세데 투미 줘와 주에 강단이 지보 건바 랍도 엠바 토미 쳐라 너를 레발라 내와 토베 내와 차고 아니 지보 아미 엠베나서 검네 아니 슈 아니 통 가서 대화를 내비치도 아니 공비인 순간 봐 대화 내와라 통지 대화를 리바 내와 토벌 주베 내와 차오.
So then this latter part of the quotation from the sutra explains, is kind of a discussion of the latter part of that verse in the other sutra, where it says that he initially decided to turn away from teaching this dharma and went into the forest in order to meditate on it alone in isolation. And so here it says that if I teach this to others, then others will not they won't understand this which I have understood. They won't comprehend this which I have comprehended. And due to that, they will harm me, and I will become exhausted or fatigued. And since it will not develop my mind will not develop from this. I should alone abide, myself alone, abide in an isolated place by myself, and dwell in delight on this dharma which I have seen.
Oh yeah, that the enjegi kasayage kadidida kudona juwa meji jipa me se kala rabji nishi digi rabji ko dela ane 친한 그 탐제 아니 라시지 주에 또나 아니 중지 태그 말에 중지 메데나 아니 파베 담바시 태그 말에 파베 담바시 마데나 슈바단 데우 태그 말에 아니 군조스 태그 말에 세데 아니 파담 주다 오마기 단주와라 라시지 똥발라 견제바테라 다디 가소레 아니 디엔제기 라시지 주에 동장 대니 태바 대바니 정오 대바니 소소 대니 마시 위념이 대문 대반이 시비 파연 다 시빙 차와 된라 팝니 다 뒤제라 다 코랑라 개매기 량자야 다 팀마 추고래
So here up above, it's been explained how at the beginning of the text, where it said that we said the opponent was saying that if all of this is empty, then it wouldn't arise and it wouldn't disappear. It wouldn't appear and disappear. And from that, then they asserted that the 가티다 콘토나 중원 징직맘에 균 망보
말다 들라고요 말다 단다 내 디마셰고 말이 단다 디엔제기 디엔제기 같이 야게 여러분이 시고 고토랑라 가데 되다 군도나 중앙매지 집밤에 시와 지난공고와 나랑신지 주에 똥나 랑신 또바 캐래나 아니 그래되는 저 중화다 중지 밑에 바다 아니 꾸조스 밑에 바다 대바시 밑에 바다 대시 밑에 바 대시 밑에나 꾸조스 매바 아니 시바다 저 밑에 바라서 기타 여기 가서 게임만 뭐 땅이 봐 대게 밑에 봐 좋아하기 제제라 내가 탄주루라 아니 대바니 태피 대니 그 남샤 대바니 중 대니 시위 파연 대니 마시위 님이 아니 된 가서 마시위 님이 아니 라시 주와 증간되다 다자 그 다와야 양도 홍주 나 십신 차와 셰차 대연적 셰차
So up to this point in this chapter of the text, it's been explained in great detail how it is that if someone thinks that emptiness has the meaning of, if as I was said at the beginning of this chapter, if all of this is empty, then it wouldn't arise and it wouldn't disappear. Things would not arise and disappear. And if that was the case, then the four Arya realities, four truths for Aryas, suffering, origin, cessation, and path, would not exist. If those don't exist, then the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha would not exist. If the Buddha and Dharma, the kunjo sum Midamba. So all of these things would be untrue. Would be untrue if it's the case that everything was empty, and this was explained in great detail. And then following that, there was the reply given to that sort of contention, which establishes correctly in detail the two truths, the way in which the two truths are enumerated, and the divisions within them, the differentiation between them, and the 고름
제범도 담반이 중오 대니기 야와 다 좀 찾아라.
So the nature of the two truths, the subdivisions of the truths, the nature of emptiness, the identity, the definition of emptiness, the necessity of teaching emptiness. All of these things were explained in detail. The consequences, negative consequences of grasping emptiness incorrectly, how that will result in different kinds of bad results. All of those things were explained in detail.
야, 다 되는 마 제외 갈라다. 가서래. 그 무주 받던 방어대. 다 좀더 오마기 랑산지 매나 다 밥이 담바실라서 와 매바 곧견 담바테다 다 견 무주박이 랭어에 되니 자고 와르다 랭탐.
So then here now is the actual exposition that the sorts of criticism or faults which the other schools have ascribed to this view, that they don't, those faults which are ascribed to this view by the other schools of Buddhist philosophy don't apply to this position.
다 이와 제 무조건 때문에 대다를 다 때문에 이내주 치지 말고 봐 마시에 바르네 아니 단주와라 저거 알아봐 인당 때문에 치지 말고 봐 내가 마시에 바르네 시 때문에 치지 말고 봐 내가 돼 마시 랑신지 마주장 차체 탐제 태 최탐제 랑신지 동장 아니 차체 줘야 그 내단데 마시 봐 아니 다 견디 연구 알아봐 견당바 인장 다 견대다 당바데 단주원을 주고 말이스 견도 타와 주원이스 견도 타와 주원이 동라 태바 마이노 다 체랑기 가다디다 군대나 중앙매지 집안매 세랑신지 주변 동나 중지 미대 바다 파베 담바 시와라서 매바기 견지 땅거와데 견데 아니 랑신지 동바 지난 공원과 탐제 랑신지 동바 되발라 아니 주고 말에 동라 태바 마인베 다다다바디 되래.
So here then the actual exposition of how it is that these faults that are the expressed faults don't apply to the position here, to our position being the Prasangika or consequentialist Madhyamika school. Here it says that those who do not understand, who do not understand how the two truths exist without making mistakes. That is, they make mistakes in how the two truths exist. So here the base for proper understanding of the view is the two truths, and they, if they're not understood correctly, then all of the kinds of faults and mistakes that occur follow from that. And it says
가데디다 군도나 중앙매지 집안매 제와라 소위 견도 타와 만복거바티 사절한 게 중지 매배바 대시 매대바 휴내 매대바 알아 소위 제 만복거바티 덴바니지 남자 마셰베 동반이당 동반이지 퇴당 동니 콘도 얘가 숨이와 동반이지 퇴당 동반이 콘도 마시네 거바 인베스 동바 코란 경 오메시 동반이지 퇴미시 동니 또바 거바 마시 거바 마지마 콘도 마치네 거바 인베 코 탄주와 랑신지 동반이도 매와라 견제되다 주바 타바 마이노.
So this here it says that the faults which would arise, which would obtain, are not justifiable or not establishable with respect to emptiness. The faults which the opponents here have ascribed to this view of emptiness. And it says that, as it says in the commentary then follows, saying that if all these were empty, then if everything was empty, then it wouldn't arise and disintegrate. It would be without arising and disintegration. So those sorts of faults, which are said to be consequences of this view that emptiness entails that things don't arise and don't disintegrate, those many faults that have been presented is due to someone not understanding the way in which the two truths are presented. And someone who doesn't understand the presentation of the two truths presents those kinds of, or ascribes those kinds of faults to this view because they have not comprehended emptiness, the meaning of emptiness, and the necessity of emptiness. So all of these faults that are ascribed are coming out of a misunderstanding, lack of comprehension of those three things. And those sorts ascribing those kinds of faults to the emptiness that we express is not acceptable. It's not justifiable.